As a historian, I applaud your efforts to connect with your roots, Princess. But as a man who has seen 3 Black Panthers fall, I must warn you of a few things. Many eyes follow the path you are about to walk down, and not all of those eyes approve. This is a blight on Wakanda's great history that resulted in the exile of the Jabari tribe from our nation. After thousands of years of unity under the Black Panthers, your father failed. There are those who want that to be the way he is remembered. Then there are those, like your brother, who believe T'Chaka inherited an infection that was already inside our country. Your father was a great man, but there have always been great men. Just because your brother holds on to T'Chaka's image does not mean that you have to. A family that mourns in perpetuity risks losing themselves forever. While the people can afford to live in myth, you cannot. Perhaps you know all this already, and are looking to free T'Challa once and for all from his father's shadow. A noble goal. But are you prepared for the consequences if you succeed?
Uncle, if you are anywhere near my brother when you are reading this, step away, quietly. I know no one in this country can keep a secret for more than a few hours, so I assume the old man has told you what I plan to ask. Still, I would prefer T'Challa not know that I am reopening these old wounds. If I could do this without hurting either of you, I would. But even in the depths of the Kimoyo archives, I have been unable to open any records involving my father's murder. I know only the few things my mother was willing to tell me, and she was not there. T'Challa refuses to say anything on the subject. I ask only that you give me the clearance I need to uncover the information myself. You do owe me, Uncle. You knew I was preparing to challenge you the day my brother became king, and you let him through ahead of me anyway. If I had won that day, this information would be available to me already. Giving me access is the least you can do. Your niece, Shuri.
As there are no surviving witnesses to the event, other than Prince T'Challa, who the Queen Mother has asked not to be questioned while he recovers. The following information was gathered from GPS and biomedical data retrieved from King T'Chaka's Kimoyo bracelet. The king's heart rate increased 36 minutes after entering the Mute Zone village, just east of Benin Bashinga. His heart rate ceased no more than 15 minutes after that. A coroner reported cause as blood loss from a gaping wound on his back. 50 Mute Zone citizens were also killed in the attack. The 6 Hatut Zarazi that accompanied the king and his son, Prince T'Challa, were not found at the scene. Their Kimoyo bracelets were removed prior to arrival at the Mute Zone. Prince T'Challa was found unharmed beneath the king's body.
T'Challa, I am guessing our uncle was the one that told you. I saw the look you gave me at dinner. I just want to know. Was he afraid? Did he suffer? I started all of this because I cannot stand being left out of our family's secrets anymore. But the closer I get to the truth, the farther away from you I become. I am no longer the girl who needed to be protected from the details of her father's death. I am one of the most powerful people in Wakanda, whether you approve or not. I can handle this story. Please, brother, do not leave me in darkness. Shuri.
Shuri. Father knew the peace talks with the Jabari tribe were a sensitive issue, but he could never resist me when I asked to learn how to be a great king. We took 6 Hatut Zeraze with us. No one else. The Mute Zone village was quiet. When we arrived at the square, there was a stage for our father and the Jabari ambassador to speak from. I remember thinking a lot of people had come to watch. But now I know there were only 50. I had heard Father practice his speech so many times, I could have given it. I mimed along with his motions, mouthing the words. When he raised his hand in an open palm, I raised my hand, and it began. All 6 Hatut Zeraze knelt before the Jabari ambassador, before turning their weapons on our father. The ambassador demanded no witnesses. His own guards began killing the crowd, one by one. I have never seen our father fight harder than he did that day to get to me. He was the Black Panther every second of his final moments. Father reached me just as a traitor raised his claws in front of me, but no strike came. I was pressed to the ground, the wind knocked out of me. I did not remember closing my eyes, but when they opened, Father's face was close to mine. I did not move. I did not breathe. I pretended to be dead beneath our father's corpse. I begged Bus to let me live. And she sent me America. Believing me dead, the traitors left. The quiet returned. Was he afraid? The look in his eyes was not fear. Did he suffer? No. One moment he was there, and the next, Bas took him. Shuri, you may not be the girl who cried on my shoulder. His mother told you what happened. But that boy, beneath his father's body, frozen in cowardice, is still within me. Regret cannot alter what one has done, but it can fuel what one does next. I hope the truth does for you what it could not do for me. Your brother.
There is very little vibranium in the scientific community upon which we can test our hypothesis, but the trace amounts we acquired on the black market show incredible promise. This galactic metal absorbs all kinds of kinetic energy and can repurpose it into other forms, including the physical. While Terrigen was our ticket to financial stability, vibranium gives us the competitive edge we need in pursuing more otherworldly ventures. I have seen Captain America's shield in action, so to speak, and anecdotally can confirm that vibranium is as magical as it seems. The only way to find enough to create replicatable studies, however, is by getting it from the remote African nation where a meteor crash landed thousands of years ago, full of the impossible metal. I attempted to broach an agreement between Wakanda and AIM after the Avengers were disbanded, and got nowhere. I even considered waking the good captain from stasis to use him as a bargaining chip, but the risks at the time were too great. With his revival, he may still be our ticket inside.
M, you are aware how damn hard it was for me to get you the little bit of vibranium I did, right? Literally every piece that isn't making up Captain Capitalist shield is stolen from someone else. Ask me for uranium-238, and I got you. But breaking into the most secure nation in the world is way above my pay grade. You want someone that crazy? You're looking at Ulysses Klaw. Dude's a physicist that spent years trying to create artificial vibranium. Clearly hasn't worked out for him, but if there's anyone who wants back into Wakanda and will sacrifice everything to do it, that's the guy. I can't exactly recommend him, though. He freaks me out on a good day. And Klaw does not have a lot of those. But you worked with George Tarleton, so the devil you know and all that. Don't tell him I sent you. V.
Dr. Rappaccini, I read your proposal, and I must admit, I'm disappointed. The mighty advanced idea mechanics Sneaking into Wakanda under cover of night and sneaking out without being caught? Where's the drama in that? The show of force. Look, the only way you're getting the vibranium you need is to leave the Black Panther and his cult members quaking in their boots. You have the men. You have the tech. All you need now is me. Full-scale invasion. Don't you want to control all of the vibranium on Earth? Why would you ever let a competitor have some of their own? Unless, of course, they paid a pretty penny. So, you get me the army. I'll get you the vibranium. Sincerely, Klaw.
Klaw, you can have your army, but there is a condition. Wakanda is a country that has withstood invasion for thousands of years. They have been able to experiment on vibranium uninterrupted for generations. The metal alone is useless without that knowledge. Otherwise, AIM will always be behind Wakanda in technological prowess, and you know we can't have that. That may mean taking some of their scientists hostage rather than disposing of whomever gets in your way. I've heard that isn't your forte in the past. Is that going to be a problem? M.
I'm not worried. The Rappaccini woman is a means to an end. Any amount of vibranium I let her have, she'll be thankful for. But the rest, Father? The rest will be ours. You know, I keep the nugget you gave me in my pocket so I remember its weight. And the blood it took to get back to me. Those idiots at the university! Stopping my funding because my progress was only incremental? Incremental! As if all of science progressed in leaps. But we knew, didn't we, Father? We knew to be patient. Now, I've cracked it. A way to get past a vibranium shield. Using the very sonic energy that blasted country relies upon. I'll be inside every system before they even know I've arrived. Did I need the army? No. But will it be beautiful to watch the joy fall from every Wakandan face as they meet their new master? I will bathe in it. Revenge is sweet. But complete destruction is sweeter. No. I'm not worried at all.
Esteemed delegates, I stand before you today with a decision I did not make lightly. Several of you here were aware of Wakanda's negotiations with the Avengers prior to the tragic events of A-Day, including gifting the late Captain Rogers with a shield made from our most precious of resources. In light of the events that took Captain Rogers' life, disbanded the Avengers organization, and destroyed one of America's greatest cities, Wakanda has had to make certain compromises for the continued safety of our nation. We will compromise no longer. From this day forward, Wakanda will once again be closing its borders. We are ceasing all imports and exports, canceling educational and corporate exchange programs, and shuttering our international embassies. We in Wakanda feel a return to total isolation and neutrality is the only way to assure our people's safety. My late father used to say, a great leader is not defined by the best of times, but by how he guides his people through the worst of times. I believe we are living in the letter. And that how we respond to it, how we guide our people through it, will show us the leaders we can be. The King of Wakanda has one goal: to protect his people. Though many of you may not agree with this choice I have made, I hope you can respect it. Thank you.
That's it, huh? Our golden boy goes down, and the pointy-eared mouse catcher can't deal with the world anymore. God, I wish I could walk off like that. But see, when you're a hero, you can't just shove your head in the sand. I got your piss-poor offer to buy my damn company, by the way, and I hope you take this as a hell no and F off. I don't need saving from a coward like you. I still believe in Steve's vision for the world. He dies and you pretend you were never on board? Screw you! If you were a good man, you'd feel guilty every damn day that you didn't build him something other than a shield, because clearly that did nothing to protect him from what was coming. But no. No, I know you're not a good man, because if you were, this would not be the move you'd pull. You would have come to the hearings. You would not have offered me chump change for my father's company, and you would have been at his funeral. I'm ashamed of you.
As part of training for the Dora Milaje recruits, and Neka and I led the first years on the typical perimeter sweep of the southwest border. We let them touch the vibranium barrier to see how their Kimoyo bracelets would react to it. We detected motion beyond the barrier, and Neka stayed with the recruits while I went to investigate. I'm not sure if they were trying to be stealthy in their bright yellow spacesuits or not, but I spotted them immediately. There were only 3 of them, using brick-like scanning devices over some plants and trees. I knocked them unconscious and ordered a jet to drop them in the middle of the Kalahari Desert. I thought it would be entertaining for the recruits. Since then, my sword sisters have seen 3 other scouting parties less than a mile from the border. None have made it to the barrier itself, so our deterrents are still working. But they are getting uncomfortably close below it. We may need to take a more proactive approach.
Everything's gone. Everyone's done. Did you watch? Did you see Thor set down his hammer? Nat disappear? If you did you care? They didn't just take my company, they took my family. I don't mean my dad, his legacy. What was I saying? I don't remember what I said last time, man. I've been probably talking out my ass. I was angry. I'm still angry. But this is the white flag. The SOS. Can you just buy them out? Your country's richer than God. It'd be a snap of your fingers. Or claws, whatever. I need this. Without the suit. Without the company, You're still a king when you go to sleep at night, right? But me... Just save me, please. Be the hero, lord it over me. Just don't let Steve's dream die on my watch. Don't let my family stay broken. Please.
Thought you might want to see this. There are also a few audio files from our old line to the Avengers that... Just listen to them. You will understand.
According to several eyewitnesses, among the rogue Avengers was Steve Rogers, also known as Captain America. Rogers was purportedly lost 5 years ago during the A-Day disaster, but an audio recording released to several communication satellites confirms that Rogers survived. There are no further details at this time.